Today is Tuesday, and yesterday we went over to our old garden and we got something that I used over there for a compost bin. You can see in the back we got a lot more of our hoses for our rainwater catchment system. We got some fencing and a few posts, and we got this thing that my dad made to put his sow on, and I'm going to use that for a gardening bench to transplant things and that nature. And then we got some of our firewood, and we're going to put that over here. So we've got a lot of we have a lot of work to do today. But also what we did was we got 18 plants out of our garden over there. And I see Hub's already, he's beat me out this morning. He's already been working. And so I'm curious to see how those plants are looking today. Good morning. Now let's see what's happened in the garden so far. Okay. I'm going to have to mow today, or Neil or me. One of us is going to have to mow today. It's getting a little bit long and shaggy, the grass is. My mint looks good. We transplanted that yesterday. And this is lavender, and it just started to come out right now. So it should look better later. And this one's not looking too good. It is, I think it's going to be okay, but it's not looking great at the moment. This is bergamot or bee balm, and this is lemon thyme and strawberry, and this one is oregano, and there's some strawberries mixed in all of it, and this is echinacea. So that's what we've got planned here so far. I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 10 places I can plant herbs, and I know some chives are going in some of that. Now, I spread my chicken manure, my aged chicken manure in my garden yesterday, and I put just a tad of fertilizer, organic, in it. And here's the other plants we planted yesterday. These are honeyberries, and they're looking great. This is lupine, and we got those seeds up in Maine, and they're looking good. I'm telling you, I believe something has been eating on those, either over there or it jumped right up in this bed and ate on them. Now, this is more of the bee balm. This middle one's looking good. That one right there is not looking too good, but maybe it'll straighten up. This is thyme. This is rhubarb. This is sage. And that's more of the bee balm back there. They're different colors. You know, I believe this right here is oregano. And this is thyme. The smaller one, I can tell. And then this is a hollyhock. And we brought this old thing over here that was on a truck my daddy had. And I make planters out of everything. And you can see it's got some soil in it. We'll fill it on up. And then I'll put a few flowers in it. And then, and this is the boat that Neil's dad had, his John boat. And then this was a bee gum that my dad had. And as you can see, it's not in good shape, but what we're going to do is just nail those nails in or pull them out, flip them up on those pavers, and I'll make a flower bed out of that for as long as it'll last. So Neil got yesterday, he got the rest of, I'm going to show you both of the trellises that he got made. These are made from 16-foot cattle panels, like I told you before. And he's put one on this side. Then if you look straight over there, there's another one that matches it. And our beans will go here. I've made a garden plan, and I'll go over that with you sometime later this week. And then I'm going to walk over here and show you, there's a little hole right there, and you'll fill that in. There's the other cattle panel. And he's reinforced it with these old posts. And that has such a nice arch. Now, what he's doing right now, he's working on the one over here, and I'm going to watch him put this one in. And this is so funny. Did you see my little dog in there? She's crawled up on the sofa. She's got a little recliner, and she's crawled up on that, looking out and watching her granddad work. Hi, Pepper. She doesn't look too happy. She may not be liking that sound. I don't know.
We might hit a rock.
Have you? It's kind of going sideways, isn't it? I bet you have too. Yeah, we've hit a few rocks out here, but not like we would at home, have we?
No.
That one did well. I saw one of those little ties over here. I'm going to find it. It had dropped out. Unless Neil found it. Must have already found it. It's got two of them. Well, it's got an aroma out here from all the stuff I've amended the soil with. Oh, and these little things here, we found that you can get those at, what's that place called? At Harbor Freight. We just happened to find those the other day, so we know where to order, where we can get more when these run out. Now, I'm going to go in and get some potatoes, and I'll show those to you when I bring those out, and we're going to plant those in this little planter right here. It's one of those little small bags that you order, but I just want to see what they taste like. So we're going to plant those in there, and I'll go in and get those, and we'll come back and start planting those. Hello, Pepper. How are you this morning? She's She's already been up and had her walk and had her breakfast. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how these turned out. They turned out fairly well. I mean, they're not great. They're probably the worst that I've ever grown, to tell you the truth, but they're plantable, and I've looked at a lot of people's at nurseries, and theirs doesn't look that great. A lot of them don't this year. So, and this soil is damp, but the plant is dying, and that's a sunflower. For some reason, the sunflowers have not done too great. These are sunflowers too, and I've got a few. So that probably means the seeds were not very good. Of course, this was that bad soil I told you about too. So I will be transplanting all of these outside today, even though they're very small. I'm just going to go ahead and put them out today. So I'll go in and get my potatoes and my onions and be right back. Now these potatoes I ordered from Johnny's Selected Seeds, I believe it says. And they're called Santina. No, not Santina, Satina, single, or just Satina. So I got 5 pounds, and they were very expensive, but I wanted to try those out. So I'm going to plant them, and I'll show you when I get them laid down how I'm doing them. Now, I planted that little bed. Didn't take very many to finish it off. But, so that one's done with the Satina potatoes. And what I'm doing here, I want to show you how I'm planting these. I dug a trench all the way down, and then probably every foot I put a potato or part of a potato. You always slice those potatoes so that the part that's growing up there can come on out. And I'm going to put potatoes probably on the right side of all of these beds. On the outer side, not toward the part where the beans are going to be planted up. So I'm going to put potatoes out here and then beans. And if you look that up on your companion planting chart, you'll see that potatoes and beans grow well together. Then I'm going to cover these up real good. And as they come up, I'm going to mow my grass, let the grass dry out, and then I'm going to mulch around these with that grass so that I don't get a lot of weeds, and so that if the potatoes were to ever pop through the ground a little bit, it wouldn't get that green color. You know what I'm talking about if you're a gardener, that little tiny green color on those. So that's what I'm planning on doing now. So I'm going to get off here and cover those up, and then I'm going to work on this bed up here and get as many and finish this bag up, and then I'll start some more that are some old ones. They're old potatoes from last year. And that, when I grew up, that's how we planted our potatoes. We would take the ones that were left over, and then we would plant them. And that would be our seed potatoes for the next year. Now, I'm getting ready to plant some onions, and I'm going to use a method that Megan sent me on Facebook. And what you do, you take these cupcake pans and you squash them in the dirt, and it makes a pattern. And then you go directly in the center of that pattern and you plant your onion, and that gives you enough room for the onion to mature, and you've not planted them too close. I thought this was a great idea, so I just had to try it. Now I have all of my onions planted in that row, and I'm going to tell you the name of the onions. And I got these onions at Lowe's. There were 100 onion sets, and they're called Stuttgarter. So that's got the onions planted. Now these are the old potatoes that we planted that we had saved from last year, saved the seed of, and the real small ones I put the whole potato in there, and the large ones I cut in two, making sure to leave an eye, and an eye is where the roots coming out here. where the potatoes starting to grow. And so, and I kind of planted those just a little bit thicker because I had so many of them. And you can see in that bed we put 2 rows. Now we finished that, we got all of those done, and then we decided to go into the front yard, into our flower bed there, and plant some peonies. So this is the Hawaiian coral. I planted that. Neil dug the holes for me. I planted 2 of those in the center. Then in front of those I planted 3 of these, which is the Sarah Bernhardt peonies. In front of that we planted 3 Sarah Bernhardt peonies. And so I waited till this afternoon to see how the vegetables are growing. The zucchini looks good. Oh my goodness, one of them's broken. I guess that rain and wind broke it. But I can see growth in those. And I can see that the okra's doing better. Right there, it completely broke that one down, the wind did. It's broken it off. And there's 2 cucumbers, and they're doing pretty good. No potatoes are up yet. Of course, I didn't expect them to. Let's see how the tomatoes are doing. The water's really high here right now. Maybe you can see that. I don't know if you can or not. But they're looking fairly good. Not really good. Hopefully they'll make it. I'm really hoping my ground cherries will. This one looks good. I may have to buy a lot of replacements. I actually thought I would have to when I first planted these. These itty bitty ones are, some of them are ground cherries, I think. Oh my goodness, my poor little squash plants look terrible. Let's see. Oh, the rain's just beat that one down. That's my spaghetti squash. It may make it. Just have to see in a few days. My moringa plant over here looks pitiful. I'm hoping it'll come back out. But the herbs look good, and all the... Of course, these are from a windy area, a rainy place, so they know how to make it through wind and rain. The bee balm over there is starting to straighten up. Good. The safflower does not look too good, and the honeyberries look real good. And those are zinnias, and they're looking fair. These are not looking good. There's nothing planted here. Well, they're hanging on. That's about all I can say. So I don't know if they'll make it or not. Now the onions are starting to come out right there. So hopefully they'll do okay. Oh my goodness, look at this. Still have that much in it. So I'm pouring the water out of it. These are looking real good here. Oregano looks good. Echinacea looks good. These over here don't look too good. I didn't temper those in. I didn't bring them out and let them set for a while before I planted them because I was afraid they were going to die on the porch. Now the marigolds are looking pretty good. I may have to buy replants, but that's the way they're doing, so I'll check in a couple days on them, but everything's doing okay so far. Jid's had a good weekend, as you can see. He's enjoyed the garden. And I told him the plants were going to grow, so he went over and talked to the plants, and he told them to grow, grow, grow. I think he thought they were just going to grow right up in just a few minutes. So he was kind of disappointed. I told him next time he came he could probably tell a difference in them. I've got some plants planted here, and they're looking pretty bad too. That was a bad rain last night, but they may come out of it. I hope they do. And I'm going over here looking at others, see if they did any good, or if the storm just about got them too. Well, they actually, some of them seem to be doing okay and some don't. So hopefully by the end of the week we will know one way or the other. If they've not done any good, I will buy some replacements for them. Because all I have left to do is to plant flowers. Here is a promoter. Found a way to get it to stay up on the trellis. Part of it's staying, but not all of it. But I believe it's going to be a beauty. I have no idea what color it is. I think actually it may be a white one, but I may completely be wrong and be shocked when it comes out. I'm hoping to buy my 2 roses to plant tomorrow. It was lovely out today. But I'll check back in later in the week for you. Bye, friends.